quarterback occasion to swing that out. 8 points in award. One bite at a time. Quarterback occasion to swing that out. 8 points in award. Quarterback, swing that out. Swing that out. Award.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the punter now, Pat McAfee, to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by a four-time Super Bowl champion elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in the year 2000. This is Joe Montana.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Montana going right to the air. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not much happening on the return as they'll get this to about the 23. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. They will look to throw. Montana. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Micah Parsons. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. Now it's Peterson. The danger of a punt that good? A 16-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Here we go, set.
To throw, here's Willis. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. It's the fullback. 41 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 14-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. It's Montana. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Come on.
Following the fumble recovery, Willis throws out left. It's caught by Williams. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jamison Williams, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously. -minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's got his guys set up great now. First and goal. And the Pigskin at the 7-yard line.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Willis. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Second and goal from inside the 5.
At the 4-yard line.
Now Willis on the bootleg.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
DK Metcalf from 4 yards out, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So what a start. It's not often you even get 3 possessions in a first quarter, but he now has 3 touchdown passes. Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Here's Montana to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Grant Delpit
In there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. To throw is Montana. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the return is Peterson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying.
And got his man complete.
He's to the 15.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jamison Williams.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes this 35-0 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. 1-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tackle there by Sean Taylor. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Shotgun. Here's Montana. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead. And it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable here from the 38. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. From his end zone, Willis. He'll let this go for Adams.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Adams, 98 yards.
And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Operating out of the gun, here's Montana. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. That's it for the first, and okay. For our halftime break, apparently we're going to get right back to it. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. That one let go deep for Laporta. And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Sam Laporta, 68 yards. And the Eagles are pouring it on. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Montana. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. He's got him in, complete, through the middle of the field. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Chris Johnson, 99 yards. And the Eagles extend their lead yet again. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the 49ers settling in for their next drive. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. Now Montana. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago they scored. Remember, last drive was that 1-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things are happening to you, what goes through your mind? And he told me at that point, it's not about schemes. It's not about what's called from the sideline. It's about players.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Henry going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this will be caught at the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side. and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. James Harrison with a sack. He still has it into his 40s.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The Eagles offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery. Henry. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Boswell for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only 1 play to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Montana. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former 49er, Deion Sanders. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Henry. He's got it. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep, and boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on second down, Montana. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. James Harrison picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
They need 12 here. It's third down.
Under pressure, they got him again. Jalen Carter getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
That's pulled in at the 32. The Eagles offense back out onto the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Looking deep for Adams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Now he's loose again,
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one.
Extra point now by Boswell. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick.
And he returns this to the 22.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Montana. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their new quarterback, first-year signal caller out of South Carolina.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now Rattler. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Jalen Carter coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. To the air is Rattler. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Las Vegas sending out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. It's taken to the 26. So here are the Eagles now, backed up to start their first drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there.
And got his man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf, 98 yards. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3-and-out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3-and-out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan there on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Rattler. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
Here's Hester. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And, Charles, the name of the game last time, efficiency. Their very first snap, they connected for a quick touchdown.
They get more value than just the points from that series as well. Only needing one play, it keeps the entire offense rested up.
Willis backed up near his goal line here. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in, complete. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Trey McBride, 97 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Boswell for the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Carter, what a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits. Now a first carry for their fullback. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
He doesn't get many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number is going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them because they do so much blocking.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jamison Williams, a 12-yard touchdown grab, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rattler. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Pressure comes and down he goes. James Harrison with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Able to push his way through.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Big strides. Look at him go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Antonio Gates. 96 yards. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Boswell good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Rattler. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 33. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Rattler wants to throw it. Under pressure, and down he goes. Micah Parsons. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
If they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
The highlights from the first half, all one-sided.
Welcome back, Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3.
This second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand. I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Rattler from the gun, third down. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. From his own end zone, here's Willis. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DK Metcalf, 98 yards. And the Eagles have widened the gap now to 50 points.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. So out come the Raiders. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves. But we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jalen Carter. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. The Eagles offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control. And got his man complete. Down to the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 94 yards. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So that is going to tie an NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in one game. It was first done by Sid Luckman of the Bears in 1943, then by Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 54, and now that mark equaled here in this one. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the...
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. From the shotgun, Rattler. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Micah Parsons drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up fourth down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. Oh, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. The quick feet by Jackson. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's still on his feet. He may go. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point now by Boswell. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them...
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And that last touchdown pass not only puts 6 points on the board, it also puts his name into the record books for the most touchdown passes in a single game. Boswell good with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone. And that means they'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll set up a throw. Keeps himself upright. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you what, The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Eagles. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be captained by one of the greats of all time. At quarterback, it's Drew Brees.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. put tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
And it's fielded at the 34. So here are the Eagles now, backed up to start their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man complete. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf, 97 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he returns this to the 22. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. To throw is Breeze. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. James Harrison from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. But when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Credit the sack to the safety, Sean Taylor. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 70 Ranger.
To throw from his end zone, Willis. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. Breeze going to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute. But did they really believe it would?
Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half. And this is turning out to be something to monitor as this game goes along. That's now 3 touchdown catches for him here in this first half alone. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 28-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
2nd down and 8. Here's Breeze to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Breeze. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Following the fumble recovery, Willis. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Come on.
From the gun, here's Willis. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Antonio Gates from 17 yards out. And the Eagles open the lead up to 34-0. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Jalen Carter, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
You doing okay over there, partner? Because that's yet another sack in this game that you just had to call. We're not even at halftime yet. No wonder this team has the lead. What an effort by the defense right from the word go. The adjustments at halftime, they're going to have to be big, or this could really get ugly in the second half.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now 3rd down and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Jones breaking from the contact, and he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done.
Now Breeze lost the football. It is picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles have taken a 6-touchdown lead. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Breeze now to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Micah Parsons able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his 1st sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up the secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early, so now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's Breeze. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now it's Peterson. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing route.
And got his man complete. Still going inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Adams, 97 yards. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Breeze. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Micah Parsons able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most.
And the pressure gets to him again. James Harrison picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking on the midfield logo. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
From his end zone, Willis. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, wide open, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boswell for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Throwing now is Breeze. In trouble, and he's taken down. Jalen Carter. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Talk about 2 sides of the ball cross purposes because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Their front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And he's going to go down again.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's caught by Jackson. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't. Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones: turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
Tell you what, partner, he might just be a rookie, but he certainly looks the part of a veteran NFL starter, and he carries himself like one leading the offense out there. In a lot of ways, he is advanced as a first-year quarterback, and he came in and was right at home with this offense.
Let's go now.
Willis now off of play action. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jamison Williams, 66 yards. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Boswell good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Here's 2nd and 7. A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll make the score 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now it's gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. The defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately.
Jalen Carter working his way back behind the line of scrimmage and dropping it for a loss. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
They'll give this to Hubbard running right.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Goff now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Taylor is
21-0 our score after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. On the return is Peterson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10.
Now Willis.
Oh, wide open, complete.
Jamison Williams.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jamison Williams.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. 1-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Now this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
A give up the middle, Hubbard.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. It's a play fake. Here's Willis. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf. 39 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes this 35-0 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Eagles are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Hold the ready.
Willis will look to throw it. He's airing it out for Williams. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jamison Williams on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it is 42-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Now, after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Jalen Carter. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. The final shot before break here. Goff. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick-6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammate.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here, as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Here's Goff. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. James Harrison able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jalen Carter getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right on the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Eagles offense and their quarterback ready to go once. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Now Willis to throw. He's got him in, complete. There he goes again. Jamison Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jamison Williams, 96 yards. And the Eagles have got it on cruise control. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. The Ravens offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Goff now looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Here's Goff. And oh, it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They caught him on back-to-back plays breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play, and on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Automatic first down.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Here we go. 19 tight.
Willis looking to throw it.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
DK Metcalf.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Out of the gun, Goff. That one complete to Okoye. And he'll take this out of the side of the end zone, and my goodness, that is going to be a safety. So give 2 points to the defense. They were in hot pursuit there, and in the end, they force him out of bounds.
You just wondered how he was going to get out of this one, Brandon. We saw him painting himself into a corner, and finally has nowhere to go but out the side of the end zone.
And that flag accepted. So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll let this go for Adams. Oh, wide open, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by Deion Sanders. Still going. They can't stop him. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Back to throw, Willis. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Here's Willis. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And that last touchdown pass not only puts 6 points on the board, it also puts his name into the record books for the most touchdown passes in a single game. Boswell good with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. So far, this has to feel like a horrible dream for him. He's thrown more completions to the other team than he has to his. 3 interceptions.
Now, this will test him mentally. And this is going to test his mettle and test his fortitude because once you've thrown those 3, you start to feel sorry for yourself. But you can't do that. There's more football to be played. Let's talk about Jason Garrett, the coach of the Cowboys, and he mentioned at one point Tony Romo.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And that touchdown, his 5th touchdown grab of the game, and that ties him with Jerry Rice from 1990, Kellen Winslow Sr. from 1981, and Bob Shaw back in 1950 for the most receiving touchdowns in a single NFL contest. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Ravens ready to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Carter dropping him for the second straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on third down.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5, first and goal at the 4-yard line. So they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point now by Boswell. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And that's going to be short of the landing zone. It doesn't make it there, so that means the ball's going to come out to the 40. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Gone. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Carter in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word
under pressure, and they got to him again. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good.